Hi.
Hi. We're live.
Hi.
We are live from my closet. We're a little bit early.
We sure are.
Don't start shit talking my closet yet.
I'm not.
Okay.
I like it in here.
You do?
Yeah.
Why? It's like cozy?
Yes.
I've never.
You got the better pillow, but I still like it in here.
Listen, it's really not that big of a deal. It's a floor pillow. Let's not get crazy.
Okay.
So this has become my Monday night tradition. And in the interest of full disclosure, you hate Facebook.
I do. I don't do Facebook.
Let me introduce you. But this is like, I'm talking as if everyone knows who you are. I'm okay. Sorry, let's back up. Rewind. We are live from my closet, and I teased that I had a special guest tonight. And my special guest, if you are a regular reader and you read the stuff that I post, the main character is my mom in a lot of stuff, right?
True.
But like the second like supporting actress, would you say?
Yeah, I would say that.
Is Marnie. This is my best friend, my person.
Stop it.
Look, Phil Silverman's here. Do you remember Phil Silverman from Pinecrest? He was my bus driver. He worked there when you were there.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, Phil.
Hi, Phil
I don't know if you
Silverman.
remember Marnie. Oh, my mom's here.
Oh, hi, Arlene.
So Marnie is.
Can't wait to talk to you.
Marnie is. I think many girls have best friends, right? We can all relate to that like dynamic. But Marnie and I have the kind of friendship where there's no boundaries. Would you say that that's accurate?
That's very true.
We share everything. Like we talk about everything. I don't even know where to start with the things.
We can be
that we
very
talk about.
brutal too.
Brutal, but loving. Like we're never.
Yes.
I feel like if one of us needs to be talked off the ledge, we're good at like being like, calm the fuck down and like let's get it together.
Yes.
But we're also very nurturing and supportive of each other. We're honest.
Yes,
We're honest, right?
That's definitely true.
Some fun facts just to put our relationship in context. We have known each other since I'm younger. So we've known each other. We've known each other since I was 15 and you were 17, 18?
I was 18.
Okay. I used Marnie's ID. Hi, Sam.
Hi, Sam.
Marnie and I met at camp. We were counselors together. And
I was a senior counselor.
She was a senior counselor because she's older. And I was I was the CIT. I was a CIT, and we fell like madly in love.
We did.
But there's like so many fun facets to our relationship because when I think back on that time, I would sleep at Marnie's house every weekend in Coral Springs. To me, I felt like at the time, I lived in North Miami Beach, I felt like it was so far. Don't you feel like it? I felt like, oh God, it's so far. My mom wouldn't let me drive there when I turned 16. I wasn't allowed to drive at night. I wasn't allowed to drive to Coral Springs. So I would either go home with Marnie on a Friday after camp and like camp out there for the weekend, and she would drive me home, or my mom would drop me off. Like I wasn't allowed to drive.
Right.
But we were doing things. We were doing things
far.
far worse than driving. Like we were. We're not going to get into it, but we were. We were teenagers. Yeah. So Marnie and I's relationship dates far back to that time. We have seen each other through relationships, marriages, babies. Like we have been through
bangs.
Yeah. Thank God those are gone. Don't ever, you would never do that again, right?
No.
Have you ever considered it? Like, have you ever?
I used to go like this and then like this. And I was like, I look so good.
Marnie you had the curliest,
so curly,
crazy hair and really big boobs, and you bathed in Rapture from Victoria's Secret. Mm-hmm. If you are familiar with the scents of the 90s, late 80s, early 90s from Victoria's Secret, there was one called Rapture.
It was like a heart-shaped bottle.
Yes, you can smell it in the bottle. Like it didn't even have to be open; you could smell it. And Marnie would douse herself in it. Now
I must have gone through like 50 bottles of that shit.
And you were like very independent at the time. Like you were one of my only friends who, even though you were 18, you had a full-time job. You lived with your boyfriend at the time. Like all of my friends were much more like we maybe like worked at a bakery, but nobody was.
I was
on their
very
own.
established.
You were. My mom said you and Marnie were terrible with getting lost.
Yes.
Marnie and I do not have a good sense of direction. How long do you think it takes you to like once you drive somewhere? Because she'll call me. My mom lives in the same apartment in Aventura for Mom. What have you been there 13 years, something like that? To this day, if Marnie has to go down there, she's like, okay, give me directions, like step by step. I need to know where I turn right. Like, but I'm the same. I'm bad with directions. I'm very bad.
I'm not good.
We would not be good if we got lost together.
No.
Who do you think would panic first? I
Probably
know the answer.
Me.
Yep. So Marnie, like, when I say we've seen each other through relationships and all these things, like I feel like she's been such a constant in my life. And I think it's important as a woman and as a mom to have that kind of support. And we both have made new friends over the years, but I feel like our relationship, we've brought people into the fold to each other.
We've included people.
We have. We're inclusive.
You can sit with us.
You can sit with us totally. As long as you're fun and you have a good sense of humor.
Yes.
Right? What my mom say? Oh, it's the same comment. Okay. So are there any particular stories that you feel like are indicative of our friendship that if someone said like, oh, what's your friendship like? That you would be like, oh, let me tell you a story. And they'd be like, oh, I get it.
Oh gosh. You really put me on the spot. There's a lot of really good stories like that.
Oh, I feel like you would have jumped at the one that you always like to tell.
This one?
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
That doesn't really tell.
No, I was thinking more our television debut.
I'm still mad about that. That's a good one.
Do you want to tell that story?
Yes. So I got us tickets through Renee.
You did?
Yes, I got the tickets.
Okay.
Renee's best friend, Tammy Salpeter, who is now Tammy Smiler.
You're going to name people?
Is that okay?
Yeah,
I don't know how this works.
I don't care.
I feel like I should give credit.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
Tammy, if you're out there, if you're watching, then God bless you for giving us these tickets.
She worked for, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a production company, and she got the tickets.
What year was this? Do you remember? 96? Had to be, because we were both.
What year did it come out?
Shockingly, we were both cheerleaders, if you can imagine that.
I was captain. Were you?
I was co-captain.
Oh. Okay. So I got free tickets to this screening of
You're such a good cheerleader, you couldn't even remember.
Sorry, I'm nervous. This is a lot.
Bring It On. One of the greatest movies of all time. Agreed?
It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
So we went to the movie and we loved it.
Loved it.
I mean, from start to finish, I think we were like, so it was over. We came out, Deco Drive.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone remembers Deco Drive if you're this age. And you live
Belky's,
down here.
what's her name?
Belky's Naray.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Is she still around?
I think so.
So she wasn't there, was she?
I think she interviewed us, didn't she?
She was the one who, I don't remember.
Look, she's holding a grudge all these years with this story, and she doesn't even remember if Belky's was still there.
So anyway,
was there.
She came out and she had the microphone, and she was like, oh, so come over here. How was it? And I was like, and before I even had a chance to say anything, Rachel goes, we loved it.
No, that's
not
what happened.
And then I was kind of like taken aback, because I was like, oh, okay, so I'll say something now. So I went to talk again, and she goes, as former cheerleaders. And then I was like, as former cheerleaders, like I had to jump in and sort of like repeat what she said, and I was so mad because she stole my thunder. Okay,
let me now tell you the real story of what happened, because that is like fake news. Fake news. What happened was she's not telling a complete lie. She's just manipulating the facts a little bit. What happened was they came up to us with the microphone and they were like, what did you guys think of the movie? And Marnie didn't go like this. Wait,
yes, I did.
No, she froze.
Yeah, there's no proof of this.
She froze.
I know the truth.
Froze, and I was like, oh my God, they're going to take the camera off of us. They're going to take the camera off of us, and we're going to lose our moment of fame. So I was like, we loved it. And then she still sits there like a mute, not saying anything. So I'm like, I guess I'm carrying this show. I guess I'm just going to take it from start to finish. And I was like, as former cheerleaders. And then she, like my little hype man, was like, as former cheerleaders.
I did it just like that.
She did. So we have different views of how it went down, but essentially it's the same story. And yeah, it is the same story.
Okay.
I mean, we wouldn't have been on TV if it wasn't
story.
For me.
It was a good story. I mean, I'm still kind of like, but
it was okay. From like the early 90s, and she's still holding a grudge against me.
It was a long time ago.
Anything else you want to air out that you've been harboring all these years against me?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. What do you think that our... Oh, wait, hold on. We're getting some comments. Okay, Lana, love this.
Samantha!
I believe Rachel. Love you, Marnie. Love this. Just texted my best friend about a story that happened like 20 years ago as well about getting lost. There is nothing like best friends, but not just best friends who have history, because there's so many. We're probably those obnoxious people. Not probably, we are. We are those obnoxious people where if you get like a glass or two of wine in us and we're at dinner, we start like talking in octaves that are higher than our normal voice about inside jokes and stories. And people probably are like so annoyed, but it's because we love each other so much that we have this like
passion.
Yep, that we do. Oh, look, Karen Gordon is here.
Hi, Karen Gordon.
This is my special guest. You might remember her, Karen. I know you remember. Of course you remember her. Who could forget? Who could forget? So
someone recently forgot me that I remembered. I went to dinner with Andy, and the waiter came over. The server came over, and he was like,
that was
"Hi."
bad of you. You were a
I know.
server for
I corrected
so long.
myself
Oh my
immediately.
God.
I'm sorry. I've been out of the business for so long. The server came over, and he was like, "Hi," and I'm like, "Joe?" And he was like, "I'm Joe," and I was like, "Oh my God, I totally know you." And he was like, "Okay," you know, he was like polite and stuff, but he definitely didn't know me. And I was like, waiting for him to recognize me. He still didn't. And I go, "I worked with you at Outback. We bartended together." Da, 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 da. I'm going on and on and on. And Andy was just kind of sitting there like, you know, he's like, "Tell me you were Employee of the Year." And I was like, "Well, I was Employee of the Year." And he just was like, "Oh, okay, well, you know, it's been a long time." He didn't remember me.
I don't know how that's possible.
I know.
Maybe he just, because you don't have the curly hair and big boobs anymore.
Maybe.
You kind of look like a different person if you were focused on those things. And maybe as a man, he was looking at your big boobs and not your
Maybe, and I
face
don't have
so
those
much.
anymore.
You don't. Thank you, babies.
Just kind of like
Um,
that a little.
so, oh, Nuri's here.
Hi, Nur.
I want to talk about that for a second.
Okay.
Okay, so Marnie and I are best friends, right? But Marnie also has another best friend. And
It's true.
I'm not even the slightest bit jealous of it. I love her. And I feel like we couldn't
Everyone loves
be.
Nuri.
Does everyone love me?
Yes, everyone loves you. But everyone loves Nuri too. For
Oh, wait,
sure.
I got another comment. Karen, now we know where your cute daughter from last week gets it. I know. I have birthed myself. Did you see her hijack my show last week?
No.
Oh, so.
Because I don't know if you know, but I don't go on Facebook.
So my daughter, hi Nuri. So my daughter came in and it's like she had me by the balls because she knows I'm live. So I can't really yell or freak out. And she's standing at the door looking at me and talking. And I'm like, "Ava, go to bed, trying to be like calm and not lose my shit in front of everybody." And finally I just gave up and I let her come and sit with me, and it was like living her best life. She like was taking over, was telling me what, I mean, it was ridiculous, but it was like talking to myself.
I'll have to watch that.
Nuri says, "Love you both."
Right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We love you too. Nuri, we were just saying, I don't know if you heard because I know you just signed on, which is what made me say it, but I think it's very interesting, girl friends and girl relationships. Sometimes people are very easy breezy and they're good about people having other people in their circles. And I've always said that I have never once been jealous about Marnie's other best friend, Nuri. We were from different points in our lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we're very different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, but I love her. I love Nuri, and I love
And
that.
she loves you.
Such a love fest.
It
My
is.
mom says, "What was the club you went to during the week in the summer?" First of all, it wasn't during the week. Are you
Baja?
talking about, is she talking about counselor night? Baja was on the weekends. We went to Baja Beach Club every weekend.
Every weekend.
Every single weekend, starting at the one in the Grove when I was 15 for teen night.
And we would leave like drenched in sweat.
Drenched. Do people still do that?
I don't know. I would like to do that.
When people, we can make that happen.
Really? We can go out dancing like that?
We kind of did it at my birthday.
I know, but I would like to go like also when it's not
I
just your
need to
birthday.
know if you are like someone who still goes out like that and parties like that. We would literally go out. We would dance so hard that we would be dripping. God knows what we smelled like. We probably did not
You're
smell
gross.
good. We were dripping.
Well,
the
I
hair,
smelled like sweaty rapture.
The hair was in ponytails. Like you could see,
Mhm.
it was so gross. I can't think about being, not that I'm ever out that late, but I've never seen anyone, even in pictures, when girls post pictures, do you ever see anyone sweaty and gross like that?
No.
So what were we doing wrong?
Thankfully, there were no pictures back then, like on cell phones and stuff.
I do. I think about that all the time,
I
that there
know.
was no social media when we were in college and high school.
I know.
There were only hard copy, you took your like disposable camera or your camera that you got for graduation.
Right. It was
that
such a
like
big deal
3
if you were bringing it out.
megapixels. Yeah.
I have to be really careful with
Really
my camera.
careful.
It was
Yep.
like
Yep.
that
Mhm.
big.
Huge. And but we carried bigger purses too. We didn't carry like tiny little purses either.
True.
It has changed a lot,
Has.
right?
Yeah.
Some things never change though. All right, let's really quick talk about parenting styles because we are best friends.
Uh-huh.
And I think for the most part, we see eye to eye on a lot of things parenting, but I think we're very different in some respects, parenting wise, right? Do you
Yeah.
disagree?
No, but give me specifics.
Like,
Give me examples.
I think you're very good. I am not good at laying smack down. Like, I'm not good. Like, if I was having issues with Ava sleeping and I want to get her back to her bed, you were the one who always like, you have to nip that in the bud. You cannot do that. So you offered me a really good perspective on that. Whereas you can definitely get a little bit crazy sometimes with like
my schedule, my routine.
the routine. Doctors, like, do I need to go? Should I call? Like, you need to be. So I feel like we balance each other out in that way.
I agree.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
I don't want you looked at me like I was crazy for a second, like that. Like I was going to say that we were so different. I didn't mean like as an
No,
insulting
I didn't
way.
take it that way. No, I agree with you. 100%.
Maribel says selfies are taken before you sweat. Okay, so is that the trick? You take pictures before, no pictures are taken after you're dancing, because we danced all night.
All
like
night.
I don't even know. We came home 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, and
right?
then we'd like eat and hang
we
out.
would eat. I think about that and I get exhausted. Do you ever want to do that again? Honestly,
no. I went out to dinner on Saturday night with Renee. I'll drop her name again, and her husband. We went to a really good restaurant. We went to that place I told you about.
Sweetwater. I told you it was good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
You guys, if you haven't gone, it's in Boynton, like East Boynton, like Federal. It was really good. And we met for dinner at 7. We met at 7.
That's a perfect time.
So we left the house at 6:30. We met at 7. We had cocktails. We had dinner. I was home in my bed, in my pajamas, makeup off by 10:23.
Perfect
I was
night.
like, this is so fantastic.
Perfect night. That's even a little late.
I used to not even go out with Renee because we used to work at Outback together. So we would go out to South Beach and leave at like midnight to go to South Beach.
I remember those days I would go to Crowbar and like
Groove Jet.
I don't remember if I went to
Groove Jet.
I don't know how I ever did that in my life. I don't know
so
how
young.
I first got dressed at like 10 o'clock at night and rallied. I don't know how I did that. I could never do that now. Going to dinner at 7 o'clock is like the perfect time. I like to be in bed before 10, hang out, decompress. Also, we're not going to get like really raunchy and talk about stuff, but let's just talk about SBD. You know what SBD is?
Sex before dinner.
Yes. That's
I am
key,
all about sex
right?
before dinner.
So if you are in a relationship, I am a big believer that if you're like going out, you should definitely have sex before you go out to dinner, because nobody wants to like go to dinner and, you know, eat a big meal, do, you know, whatever. And then you come home, like, it's like the last thing you want to do. It isn't. So do yourself a favor and have sex before dinner.
Yes.
And then you'll go out in the best mood.
The best mood.
You have the best night.
The best night.
See, this is what happened on Deco Drive. This is exactly, she's reliving history. You just shot yourself in the foot with your credibility, because now everyone who hears the story, my friend Lacey says, I love you too. I love you and I miss you and I hope you're loving LA. Stacy says, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, Stace.
But you literally just sealed your own fate, because
I was letting you talk and I was agreeing with you. That's different than what happened on Deco Drive.
It's the same.
No, it's not. Okay.
So anyway, the moral of that story is that do yourself a favor.
Have sex before dinner.
Have sex before dinner, always.
Aren't you glad I knew exactly what the acronym meant?
Yes, we have a lot of acronyms.
We have, but I don't know that we've ever talked about that one.
We haven't talked about that one, but we have IINS.
Immediately, if not sooner.
Which, when you text IINS, it means call me immediately if not sooner. That's an acronym we use all the time.
Or do something immediately.
You guys feel free to use any of these, by the way.
Yeah, we haven't trademarked them or anything yet.
Stacy says, oh dear God, apparently my volume is way too loud and Ashton is still up. Hello. Oh, sorry. Well, I mean,
he probably wants to watch.
You're welcome. We just breached the bees and broached the birds and the bees talk for you. You're welcome. Now you can have that talk with him, Stacy.
My favorite acronym of all time is TWSS.
We'll give you a minute. Everyone knows what that means, right?
I don't know. I don't think a lot of people do.
Sam says never text Kay. Is she making?
I taught her that.
Sam, you didn't know that?
She didn't know. I taught her.
My mom says you're killing me. Why? Because we're talking about sex. Okay, Mom. You let me back up for a second, Mom. Okay. When I was in what?
Allison Olmeiser?
Yeah.
I think I know Allison Olmeiser?
Yes, from Pinecrest.
Hi,
and well, you probably went to high school.
From Terravella.
Yeah.
She was the best cheerleader in the entire universe.
Yep.
For real.
Was she captain?
Definitely. She was 2 years older than me.
Marnie was bragging about being captain.
Yeah.
So, Mom, you're going to get grossed out that I'm talking about things related to sex, but let me point out that as I was laying in a hospital bed when I was pregnant with Sienna, because I had to go to the hospital because I had a complication, you, in front of my husband and the doctor, said that maybe the complication was due to having sex while pregnant, and no one should have sex when they're pregnant because that's how babies get birthmarks. Let me just.
Oh, I was there for that. I heard that.
Yep.
That's not true.
To which Jason went like this. Jason pointed to this. And goes, really? And my mom just went.
I love Arlene.
Wait, what's the W acronym? Oh, the W acronym was TWSS. It's Marnie's line. That's what she said.
Yes.
I just got her a shirt for her birthday because that's how much she says it.
I do say
you
it a lot.
can't. it's like it's almost like a game to beat you to the punch.
It is.
Of saying it
and
first.
It's painful not to say it. Like when people say it and I know people say things and I know I can't say it, I have to be like like that, and it hurts.
Nuri just says Marnie has a good sex before delivery story. Yes, we all know that story.
Thanks, nerd. I do. I mean, I would brag about that. I feel like I earn bragging rights.
Lisa Berman's here.
Hi, Lisa Berman.
Look, all
your
the
baby's so cute.
She is very cute.
So cute.
Very cute. Wait, what was I just talking about?
The birthmark and what would you're the t-shirt, you got me the shirt.
Oh yeah, what I was gonna say is, so when you say that's what she said, it sounds pretty innocuous. It's not like salacious, but then you have to really think about it, because if you say it, like if your husband's in the kitchen, he's like, oh, this is so hard, and you're like, that's what she said. What do you do when your kid is like, what she said?
Right.
Has that happened to you where you've gotten busted by Danny?
I haven't gotten busted by Danny. I got busted by Wyatt for sure. And now he says it before I say it because he's a huge Office fan. Like he watched it later.
So what's like the age appropriateness where you can make that joke without getting in trouble from your parents, you think?
14.
Marnie has 4 boys living in her house. 4.
Well, Gabriel's in college.
Right, okay.
He's at UF. It's very sad. We miss him.
But he's at the best school that he could possibly be at.
That's true.
Go Gators. Look, you got it down, Pat.
Thanks.
What else should we talk about? Is there anything kid related that you want to talk about? Is there anything? We both love a lot of reality TV. We have that in common.
We do. Jessica and Cody just got married.
I don't care about them.
I feel like we should talk about them for a second and just wish them a
them?
Congratulations, because I'm so happy. If Wendy's on, she loves them.
Marnie likes to really get the digs in with this because we're all Big Brother fans. Jason and Marnie have been into it way longer than I'm late to the game. I will fully admit that. So Jason was like so crazy at one point that he was like paying for the live feeds to like watch what goes on in the house.
Live feeds are a bad place. You shouldn't watch the live feeds. You did it too? I did. Many years ago, and I will never go back to that dark place.
What goes on? They just hang out.
But you're all of a sudden you find yourself watching Big Brother after dark all the time. Like literally, not just after dark. It's like that, and then the feeds.
Can you
like,
hear them, or is it?
Yeah, you could totally hear them. They're naked sometimes. It's crazy, and then you're just like engulfed in this situation that you're like, I can't get out of. I don't recommend it, and I love Big Brother. So
I love Big Brother too, but you didn't watch it this season.
I didn't.
But Marnie's obsessed with the couple from was it last season or one before? I don't even know how many. I think
last season.
Yeah. Jessica and Cody, if you watched it. I do not like them. I think they're awful. I don't think they're nice people. I think they were so mean to everybody in the house.
That's not true.
They were mean.
Everyone was mean to them.
Yes,
they were like strong
also
and
very
they stuck
mean.
up for themselves.
They were mean. Stacey said Jason and the girls watch it. Yes, Marnie, they watch that nonsense too. It's not nonsense.
It's not
Lana
nonsense.
says, I love your necklace. Mine? Thank you. Thank you very much. It's actually, you can find, she's online. It's Lilo Jewelry Designs. She makes beautiful things. That was my 40th birthday / push present. Did you get a push present?
I don't know.
I didn't get a push present the first time.
I don't think so.
In my first marriage, there were no.
Fuck, I should have gotten one.
Yeah.
I'll call him.
It's not too late.
Should we call Andy live?
Do you want me to just, we don't have to call him. We'll simulate it. Go ahead. You want me to be Andy?
Yes.
Okay.
Babe.
Okay.
Hi. Do you know what a push present is?
Yes.
What is it?
I don't know.
So then why did, yes, that's what he would do. So why do you say yes? Why did you say yes?
What do you want? What do you want right now?
I don't think you got me a push present, and I didn't push a baby out for you, but I had a C-section and I carried the baby, and I feel like I should have gotten a push present.
Okay.
Maybe I did get one. If I did, it obviously wasn't a good one because I can't even remember.
Okay, can we talk about this later? It's not an optimal time.
I guess so.
It's not an optimal time to talk about this.
Do you categorically disagree with me talking about it now?
Okay, love you, bye.
Love, bye.
Don't you think that's exactly how it will go?
Probably.
How come Andy doesn't know that you're not allowed to say K and like, oh, look. Andy, I didn't even know that you were on Facebook.
Andy.
Did you know Andy's on Facebook?
Well, yeah, I mean, I knew I had an account. But
Andy, do you have any questions?
I can't believe you're on, babe.
I can't believe, and at that same time,
yeah, that was timed.
That was Bashert. Andy, do you know what Bashert means? We love teasing Andy. Andy's one of my favorite people, and I love him because he's such a good sport. But Marnie and I are like major 90s hip hop music fans, and so like we love to dance to all the old school booty music and just inappropriate music, and he has never heard any of it. It's like he blacked out during the 90s.
He doesn't know what bashert means.
He doesn't. You don't know what bashert means?
It's meant to
Bashert
be.
is Hebrew for meant to be. Yes. Nuri's dying. We're dying. Can you believe this is happening? This is
monumental.
This is the second time that Andy has made Wine and Cheese its history. Because the first time Andy made Wine and Cheese its history is when I was like literally a handful of people away from 10,000 Instagram followers. Marnie is the kind of friend who was texting me screenshots every 5 minutes.
I was.
Oh my God, 9998, 99. I mean, she was like
and
going
it kept
crazy.
Going like 9995, 998, 994,
And
999.
and Andy was waiting in the wings
He was.
to be number 10,000, and he was officially my 10,000th follower.
He
brought me right over that hump.
Good job, babe. That's what she said.
A little late to the game, but so this is now your second time being part of Wine and Cheese's history, because I know you don't go on Facebook for fun. Like, I know you probably have like a disdain for it, and so the fact that you are here because your wife is here and your sister wife is here,
supportive.
you are very
his sister
supportive.
wife.
I am his sister wife. We made it very clear to both of our husbands,
Yeah,
our second husbands,
true.
that
Second husbands are much better.
second husbands are much better.
Mhm.
But we made it very clear to our second husbands that it was like a package deal.
Yes.
And Jason is fully aware that, like, if we have an argument or something happens, Marnie sees every screenshot. I mean, like, I screenshot the shit out of the conversations. And it's just, because we need each other. We
do.
need to, like, talk each other
off
down.
the
And
edges.
Andy says so exciting. But I know how he said it. Like, it's
So
so
exciting.
Stacey says, I agree. About what? Which part? About package deal marriage? I don't know. This is the hard thing about the comments. Sometimes they come in at different times and you don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anything else that we should reveal about our history with one another? Any other fun facts?
So many.
Let's spend a couple minutes talking about, like, we always joke about the things we brought into each other's lives.
Oh.
Like, you forever, because Marnie is was a long time employee. When I met Marnie, she was working at TGI Fridays as a hostess.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then in Coral Springs.
Yes.
So you probably, if you grew up in South Florida and were anywhere in the Coral
I
Springs
probably
area,
sat you.
Marnie probably sat you with her
I hope
curly
I sat
hair
you
and
at a
big
good
boobs.
table.
I'm
You
sure she
probably
did.
remember the whiff of rapture that you got as I sat you at your table.
And then she moved on to become a server and then bartender, right? At
Mhm.
Outback.
And
So-
then key employee, which is like a front of the
I
house
don't know what
manager.
that means. A
I
front of
had
house
the
manager.
keys, so they call you.
Oh,
a key
like
employee.
literally key employee.
So
Okay.
I was like the one, if someone had an issue, I would go to their table and be like, "I'm so sorry."
So what did
that's
you
gonna be on
do
the house.
if you had a really difficult person who was like being an asshole? Did you just like
kill them
smile?
with
and-
kindness?
You did?
Mhm.
Did it-
Customer's always right.
I don't think the customer's always right.
Hmm.
I don't.
Fridays. Lisa
says
worked with me at Fridays.
Oh, Stacey agrees about second husbands. Yes,
Oh,
I know
yes,
you do. My
yes.
mom says discounts. She just discounts for what? No. So what Marnie brought into my life with Outback specifically, and I have not been to Outback for years, but to this day, if I were to go into an Outback, I'll tell you what I would order. And it's because of her. I would order whatever my steak was, and I would get cheese fries layered. You have to get them layered.
You have to get them layered. Don't get them at all if you're
Because
not getting them layered.
I never knew this was a thing, but
Mhm.
otherwise all the stuff goes on top. But
And
if
there's
you
nothing on
ask
the
them,
bottom.
so is layered an off the menu request? Like, no one knows to
No
do
one
that.
knows to do that.
So how did that, like, someone just said, like, if someone wants them layered, throw
Maybe
some
we
cheese in the middle?
invented it in the back
Okay.
of the house.
So the layered thing, and the other thing I do is
GSB.
order GSB, which is grilled shrimp on the Barbie. But I order it like that. I go, can I get an order of GSB? And they always look at me like,
So we're talking about Outback, but I also worked at Fridays. Have you been to Fridays anytime soon?
well, yes, I have.
Do you like it there?
Let's talk about that period of my life for a moment, shall we?
Yeah, that's a good period.
So after I got divorced and I was a disaster, I was like
Disaster.
crying on the floor in the fetal position. And Marnie was like one of the few people in my life that really could not only commiserate with me, but like I knew there was light at the end of the tunnel because she had met Andy and they had such a good, I wanted her relationship because they had such openness. Like
Mhm.
I had never in my life dated someone where there was that ability to be completely yourself and be uncensored. And I loved that about their relationship.
Outback discounts, your mom said.
Oh, yeah. Stacey says layered. I learned that from you, Rach. So from Marnie, I give you credit, full
Thank
credit.
you.
So after I got divorced, Marnie was like, we were talking about, getting up and dating again.
Mhm.
Marnie tried to set me up with someone, Marnie has set me up with tried to set me with two people that both were complete disasters. One was in my early 20s when my first husband and I were broken up before we even got married. He was like a guy,
A dentist?
I'll just say it like
Isn't he
this.
like a dentist?
He was an internist.
Oh yeah.
You thought he was an intern. So I was like probably 22 at the time and he was like 40. And
he was not 40.
38, 37. He was, whatever we were, he was old
I'm
compared to
thinking
us.
like early 30s.
I was 22, okay? I was a young spring
You may have
chicken.
been like 31.
I was a delicate flower.
You were.
And she set me up with this guy who, when I met him, we met at his apartment, which I don't know why I would ever agree to do that. I think I just didn't want to be stuck in a car with him at a restaurant somewhere.
Right.
His apartment was filled with pictures of him and his mother on vacations all around the world, but like just him and his mother. And it was so creepy. And I remember looking around going, I love when a man has a relationship with his mother because it is true what they say, like, but that's a little much. That was the first person Monty set me up with. Then she tried to set me up with someone else solely based on the fact that we were both single and divorced and thought we would hit it off
You
great.
just needed to like break your cherry.
I mean, I did that a really long time ago.
Your
but
cherry from being married.
Yes,
like,
I
you
needed
got
to get my
divorced,
mojo back.
Yes, and that was perfect for you.
It was perfect. So then comes online dating. No, not online dating. Then comes, I connect with someone who I knew for a very long time on Facebook. We literally connected as friends and then realized very quickly we were both single. And this was my first real like date.
And the first time Rachel told me about this guy, I said, you're totally going to have sex with him. He's going to be the first person you're going to have sex with. That's what I said to her. And she was like, no, I'm not. I go, yes, you are. You're definitely having sex with him. I won't say what happened, but
she won't say what happened. She won't. But here's this is the level of our friendship. Marnie came over to my house the night that I was going out on my first date after getting divorced, and I was with my ex-husband for 18 years of my life. I was a baby. We were together for a really long time. So it had been like a very long time since I dated somebody. I was scared out of my mind. I was literally, I think I was like hyperventilating.
You were, and you were like, there's a 0% chance that you're not going to come over, right? Like you're definitely coming over.
I was a mess.
Like, you need to come over.
I was a mess. So she comes over and I'm thinking, all right, I'm in good shape. I have like, you know, a bra and underwear and I have my outfit on, and she comes in, she's like, no. And I was like, what? So immediately my confidence is like shaken and I'm like, nothing fits me. I'm like sweating. I'm sweating not in like a good way where I'm like having fun dancing. I'm sweating from anxiety. I'm like throwing clothes off in the air. It was a disgusting mess because there's just stuff everywhere. And Marnie, I just feel like nothing fits me and I'm really, really overweight.
Marnie, sorry, hostess at Outback. Yes.
Yes.
No, I was a hostess at Outback initially. Yes.
So I'm a mess. I'm like, I feel like nothing in my closet fits me. I feel like I'm heavy. And Marnie looked at me in the most loving way possible. And she was like, you're not heavy, but you're definitely, for you, you're carrying more weight than you normally carry. Let's just say that, like, I think in the next 2 weeks, I lost like 15 pounds. That was like all I needed to hear. I was like, what? So I got really skinny.
I couldn't lie. I'm not going to lie to her.
A best friend shouldn't lie. A best friend shouldn't lie.
It was like heavy for you.
Hey,
you're
Trisha.
tiny.
Yeah, it was.
You were like, look me straight in the face, and I wasn't going to like come out and say it, but you came right and you said,
no,
you made me fat. And I was like, you're not fat. You're not.
You actually said you could never be fat.
You could, yeah.
But you just are definitely, for you, holding more weight than you normally hold. And I was like, and I'm going out with a man tonight. I was like so upset.
I don't think that was the night you were going out with him that we had that conversation.
Are you sure?
I think it was like a few weeks before that.
Maybe.
It was, because remember then you lost like weight like pretty quickly.
I did lose weight really quickly. How did I do that? I need to do that again.
So you're meshing stories together.
You're right. All right. So anyway, so I get dressed. I put on, like, keep in mind, I don't own like sexy bras, right? So I put on like a very simple like bralette. It was just like no lace, nothing. And she looks at me and she's like, do you have anything else? And I'm like, I literally have this in 10 colors. Like, this is what I have. I wear it all the time.
It was like the scene from Bad Moms.
Yes.
When Mila was
It wasn't that bad. No, it wasn't like a mom bra. It was like just a nondescript
I'm
nothing.
like, you have something better.
She did. She started rifling through my underwear. Then she started spraying my underwear with perfume. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, this is what people do. And I'm like, what people? What people do this? People spray their underwear with perfume. She sprayed my underwear with perfume. Sam says that's a good friend. She's the best friend. Nuri says sounds familiar. Why, did you do that to Nuri too?
I don't think so. Did I?
I don't know. Nuri, speak up if she did that to you.
Yeah, speak up.
And she literally got me ready for my date. Then I remembered I hadn't eaten anything. And I was like, oh my God. And then we were going to dinner, but like, I was like a disaster. And you were like, you need to go down. You were so calm. You're like, you need to go downstairs. You need to get like 5 almonds and just eat some almonds. It'll sustain you.
Yeah.
And then you handed me your spray the Listerine.
Oh, the breath spray. I introduced you to that.
You
right?
did. That's another wonderful thing you brought into my life. And you were like, just spray the shit out of your mouth. Nobody likes bad breath. Just keep spraying it. And so literally every light, I'm like spraying my mouth. Every light, I'm like paranoid about my bra. I'm paranoid about bad breath. How did
everything work out though?
It was great.
You're welcome.
No, it was, when you're in a life change, especially when you're old enough to like, all your friends are married. Mm-hmm. I had like one or two friends that were single. And so it's very scary and daunting to go back out there and having a child. You're now dating someone who potentially could be introduced to your kid. And I don't care. Every woman out there could be like, oh, I don't think about that no, I thought about it from the beginning because this is someone who, why am I going to waste my time if it's not someone who's going to be a good fit? But it was a good night. It was a good other nights after following that night. Yeah. It was exactly what I needed to get me back in a good mindset and then get me ready for my Prince Charming, which is Jason.
Mm-hmm. True.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. What are some things that I brought into your life
Jenny Mollen.
I don't know if you guys know who Jenny Mollen is, and that came from Jason, because Jenny Mollen is an actress and comedian, and she's all over social media, and she is probably one of the funniest people you will ever, you have that sense of humor. No filter. And she's married to, if you don't know who she is, she's married to Jason Biggs from American Pie, and she is hilarious. My mom, who?
Jenny Mollen.
Mom, I can't. She's the guy, Jason Biggs from American Pie, the movie from a million years ago, which you probably don't know what I'm talking about. She's married to him. She's hilarious. And Jason introduced me to her, and then I introduced you to her. And
yes,
Marnie loves her, but like Marnie comments on everything.
Not everything.
In the beginning, she used to engage a little bit.
We would engage. We were friends.
Yeah, now she doesn't, and she takes it personally now.
Now
Susie says, I love Jenny Mollen. Her lunch packing. Okay.
Jenny, let's be honest.
So she said her lunch packing is amazing. I agree. And I actually commented. So she packs her son. How old is Sid?
3? I think he's 4.
Okay. She is a preschooler, and she packs him like bento box lunches, but they are like gourmet. I mean, you can't even I don't imagine. Eat like that. I don't eat like that. No. I don't know any adults that eat like that. She packs him the most incredible lunch I've ever seen. Marnie's really mad at her right now.
I am.
You want to explain why?
Yeah, I love her so much, and then she does these lunches, and I'm like, I can barely get my kid to eat chicken, like just plain chicken.
And he's not eating chicken; he's eating like zoodles with fresh pesto, made in a mortar and pestle at home with like cucumber.
It's like unheard of. You've got to go on her Instagram to see what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. But I just feel like it makes me feel a little bit inadequate because I'm like, I can't do that. So I got a little mad at her. I'm going to get over it because I love her so much. Yeah. But I did get a little bit annoyed. I was like, another lunch that looks amazing. And then she even shows the after pictures, because at first I was like, he's probably
no way
not
he
eating
eats
that.
It. Right.
He does.
It's crazy, like crazy food.
Crazy.
So is that your favorite thing that I brought into your life?
No, Here Comes the Sun.
Here Comes the Sun is the whole, did I tell you the story about Here Comes the Sun when I was explaining it to people who were here the other night?
Yes.
Yeah, Here Comes the Sun is like well, now it's non-existent except for that he does delivery only, and it's a Miami-based restaurant that if you grew up in North Miami Beach, anywhere in that vicinity, you lived on Here Comes the Sun. And then he closed down many times because of health code violations and other things like that. Big. But you love it so much that you're like, okay, well, when is he going to open again? Like, you don't even care what he was shut down for. And now he is doing delivery only, and he delivers to Boca like once or twice a week. Mm-hmm. And it is like crack. It is so good.
So good.
And I introduced you to that. Susie says, I feel like she packs them to be funny. Like, you're supposed to be mad. My kids buy lunch in the toddler room, so I'm lazy. Hi, Sharon. I know. I don't know how she does it. It's like crazy. And then I think she doesn't prepare that small quantities. She obviously prepares all that stuff in larger quantities. So what happens to her? Does she eat it?
I don't know, because she made a comment and I was so excited. I got it done before midnight for the first time. And I was like, she's packing this stuff at midnight?
Are you doing anything at midnight?
No,
I'm sleeping. No, I'm like in REM at midnight. No. I'm not doing anything like that. Okay, so Jenny Mollen, Here Comes the Sun. Anything else?
Yes, there's a lot. I was going to write, remember I was going to write a blog for you about all the top 10 things?
I'll allow it.
And I have so many. And I think I was keeping a list.
You probably were.
I was, because I was
probably on your phone somewhere.
I'm sure, should I look? I wanted it to be really funny.
I know one that I brought into your life.
Tell me.
We Take the Cake.
There is this bakery in Fort Lauderdale. If you have not been to this bakery, you have not lived. It's so good. It's called We Take the Cake, and they have this chocolate cheesecake that is like
Do you want
to
to talk
die
about
for
it?
it.
Do you want to talk? Is it too soon to talk about the
Andy,
situation?
should we talk about it?
Do you think he's still watching?
I don't know.
Could he stop in
I
Coral
feel guilty
Springs on the
about
way?
that.
You feel guilty about the Andy situation?
I do. Like, I overreacted a little.
So Marnie, so there's a cake specifically from We Take the Cake that we've pretty much gotten for like every big occasion. My wedding cake was actually part of this. Since I didn't have friends at my wedding, Marnie came to the cake tasting with me and Jason.
I did.
She did. And it's a chocolate cake with cheesecake in the middle and like a really rich fudgy icing. And
the
it's
cheesecake's like this thick.
Marnie gets like a crazy person. Oh, Marnie says you should. Okay, good. We're going to.
Okay.
Marnie gets like a crazy person the minute the cake is in her possession. Forget, not when the cake is in her possession.
No,
when
like
she
when they
knows
bring
the
it
cake
out,
is coming,
yeah.
she automatically gets this visceral reaction and gets nervous about how big the slices are going to be.
Like, are they going to be like, oh, she's little, she's not going to want a big piece? Like that. I need a big piece.
Also, she will always make a passive aggressive comment like, don't take any don't make sure you don't cut extra pieces for yourself. Like she's onto them. So she's very, very crazy about the cake.
I am.
So a few years ago for Marnie's birthday, we all went to dinner.
Was it my
41st?
41st.
Yeah.
Yeah, my 41st.
And Andy, as a wonderful husband, was going to take care of getting We Take the Cake.
And Rachel was thinking, should I get involved a little bit
I don't
more?
want to, you
didn't want to steal his thunder.
I don't want to steal his thunder. It's her husband.
You were like,
let him do his thing.
Sort of gave him a reminder, like, don't forget.
Well, I remember. Yeah, I did. I texted you. Are you good? How could you fuck it up?
You can. Just so you know. Spoiler alert.
So we're sitting at dinner. And the cake comes out with all the candles. And the thing about Marnie is that she really doesn't have a poker face. Like she's not, she can't, Marnie's not a liar. She doesn't have a poker face. So like you can tell within 2 seconds looking at her, like what is going on.
The cake came out and it was like, the cake's usually chocolate.
Andy said that was a fun night.
The cake's usually chocolate. Okay. And it came out and it was like this white cake, vanilla, and I was like,
and now Marnie's sitting next to Andy and I'm sitting next to Marnie, so I can hear Marnie and Andy's conversation, and
everybody's like singing,
like
singing
like, really loud,
and I'm like,
and Marnie's going like this. Is that the right cake? Like through her teeth, like a ventriloquist.
I did.
Is it the right cake? She's getting like flustered. You can tell already. She doesn't give a shit about the happy birthdays. She doesn't care about the candles. She doesn't care. She just is concerned. Is it the right cake? And she's going, it's not the right cake. She's starting. You could see her. You could literally, like, if you looked back as like a scientist, you could probably break down the whole. Is that it's not the cake? I don't think it's the cake. And then all that needed to happen is confirmation. Is the knife went in, and the second the knife went in, she knew it wasn't the right cake.
No, it was like a vanilla cake.
And I was like, she just, something in her snapped, but not in a violent,
not proud of it.
Not in a violent, like, showy way. So the cake gets cut, gets put on a plate. Immediately you can see it's just cake. There's no cheesecake.
Something special about this cake.
It was just cake. It was not the right cake. And you could not, my mom goes, Andy's really getting into this. I know. Isn't that surprising a little bit? So Marnie was like so upset, and the people next to me are like, what's going on? What's happening? Because everyone knows how crazy we are about the cake, but especially Marnie. Right. And they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, it's not the right cake. And they're like, oh, like everyone knew it was not going to be a good situation. Right. So whoever was sitting next to me was like, is she going to have a piece? And I was like, no, she's not going to have a piece. They're going to probably get divorced tonight. Like, that's probably what's going to happen. She's not having a piece of that cake. Even if she wanted it, she's going to stand on ceremony and she's not having a piece of the cake. There was a fight about the cake. I mean, it was like whole thing. And then there were apologies. I felt
so bad. Andy was so upset with me because I was such a bitch. And I couldn't control it. It was like, it was a visceral reaction. I couldn't help myself.
Strangely enough, the same type of reaction happened with Here Comes the Sun one time in your house when someone ate your leftovers.
Yes. Was I pregnant?
Yes.
That's my excuse. It was my uterus.
I did. I said that in an email. I think
you had to like step in.
Yeah. And that's the beauty, I think, about not just best friendships, but when the spouse is involved, are comfortable knowing that how close you are. Like, there's nothing weird about emailing the spouse and being like, listen, I know she went a little bit crazy. She's got a lot of hormones running through her body. Just let it go. Like, it's not a weird situation. Like, that's totally normal, right?
It's very normal.
Right? Is it normal to watch like your old wedding videos and stuff?
Yes.
Like, is that normal?
In my bed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. We do a lot of things that people probably wouldn't think are normal, but I think are very healthy.
Like when you grind on Andy at like the 90s.
Right.
Hip-hop
I like to make people uncomfortable in general in like a very innocent way, but I love to make Andy uncomfortable. It's one of my favorite things to do, especially when you catch it on video.
I do have a few of those on video.
We should share those. people might enjoy them.
I think so too.
All right, anything else you'd like to cover before we wrap up? I have one more little thing I'm going to show. Normally I show things in my closet.
Oh.
You don't really watch this show. Again,
No.
she's my best friend, but she doesn't watch it because she's not on
I don't go
Facebook.
on Facebook.
We did a closet purge for Marnie. Shirley and I did a closet purge for Marnie and found she was harboring like juicy sweatsuits.
They were like
circa
comfortable.
1990.
They're comfy.
We made her get rid of all of them.
They're
We're like, you
gone.
can maybe keep one for Halloween if you really like are hell bent on it, but you really need to get rid of all of them. They all need to go away. So I do something similar. I look around in my closet and I try and find things and I show them to the people. And I'm like, should I keep it or ditch it? And I've done that and I've gotten rid of so much stuff. Some things I've kept.
What's this?
I showed these and they told me to keep them. They're sequin leggings.
They could be really cute for like a dress up kind of
That's why I didn't get rid of them.
thing. Yeah.
But I really can't find other things right now that are readily available that I should throw out. Feel free. Oh, you know what I did want to show you? I am obsessed with this, and it's the only piece of maternity clothing. That's right, maternity clothing that I've never thrown out because it doesn't say anything showing its maternity, and it's like a sweatshirt, and I still wear it. So does anyone else wear maternity clothing? I still wear the sweatshirt, and I'm not sorry about it. So I couldn't find stuff in my closet, but I want to talk about when you get married for the first time, you're like registry crazy, right? You register for stupid things you're never going to use. Like I registered for like a creme brulee torch. I don't think I ever used it. So I'm going through my drawers, and Jason and I, having both been married before, have a lot of stuff, like a lot of stuff from God knows when. But I'm trying to think, like, why would I ever need this? You guys, I don't even know why I had. Do you know what this is?
No.
Okay, I didn't either. And then I found 4 of them, and I realized these are covers that you, if you're baking a pie.
Oh, so they make
they
ridges?
go on that. No, they go on it so it doesn't burn.
Oh.
Why would I ever have bought?
You bought them?
Yes.
The guy at Bed Bath & Beyond probably told you to do it.
When was the last time I baked a pie? So I have shit like this in my junk drawers. I have, for the lazy people, a crust cutter offer for sandwiches, thinking, oh, I'll cut my daughter's sandwiches. My daughter doesn't eat sandwiches.
Danny doesn't really eat much of
Do you
anything
want
these days. Okay. I mean, if you're giving it away.
I have a Christmas tree wine stopper. I'm Jewish. My husband's Jewish.
Amber would like that.
Do you want to send it to Amber?
I'll give it to
Amber, not only do you get a wine glass, you get a Christmas tree
wine stopper.
So when you open the wine to pour in your wine,
she would like
wine
this
glass.
very much.
Amber, you're welcome. Merry Christmas. Okay. And lastly, anyone know what this bad boy is?
A sushi maker?
Yeah.
You made sushi?
Once. I made sushi once in my life. And then I'm like, well, I'm not going to throw it out. What if I like one day get really ambitious and I'll make sushi again?
Right.
But,
well, that's the worst when you throw stuff out, clothes, food, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then you want it. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
I don't like that. So that's why I think I saved all those juicy couture outfits.
That's why I've saved all this stuff. Anyway, that's what I have. I have no clothes to show you, but that's what I have. So tell me if you think any of this is worth holding on to. I feel like it all needs to go. Anyway, I've loved having you here.
It was so being here. It was very
nice.
fun.
This is you're my first guest.
Really?
Other than Ava, who hijacked my show, which doesn't count as a guest. You're my first guest. I feel like we should do this more often.
Yes, I loved being here. It was very fun.
And I feel like people get to kind of see where you know, why you are the way you are, because they say that you start to mimic your friends. And Marnie and I have been best friends for decades. And so it's obvious, there's going to be obvious similarities, mannerism wise and stuff like that. We speak each other's language, but I loved having you here with me tonight.
I loved being here with you.
And thank you guys all for joining us tonight. And Sam saying no. Oh, not to keep anything. I know Sam is the one usually who's the voice of reason. She's like, no, get rid of that. It is so ugly. Sam's going to sell a bag for me. I didn't forget about you. I need to tell you that.
Oh, and Sam, I have stuff for Gavin.
My mom's friend Susan says, give it to Jenny. The sandwich crust cutter. She probably has like a sterling silver, beautiful one that she cuts the crust off of her organic bread. Anyway, everyone have a great Monday. Thank you so much for joining me for this special episode of Live from My Closet. It was so much fun, and we'll do it again soon. And anything else you want to say?
No, just that I'm so proud of you. Yes. I would like to say that really quick before we go, that I'm so proud of you. I'm in awe of you, and I might get emotional. I'm just proud of you, and you're just amazing.
You're amazing.
No, you really are. And I'm your biggest fan.
Thank you. Marnie is my, we joke about it, but Marnie always says she's going to be my Casey Cobb.
I'm her Casey Cobb.
If you're a Jessica Simpson fan, her Casey is her best friend, but also like does everything for her. So Marnie swears she's going to do that for me. Oh, the sushi. Yes, we'll give that to Jenny.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, everyone have a great Monday. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see everyone next week. And maybe Marnie will come back.
Bye.
Bye.